Okay, so now that we've got a good amount of signal coming into our desk, we can start to look at listening to the signal and equalizing it, so making it sound better. That's done through this panel here and through this bit of this panel, which is the low cut. So low cut takes out sub-bass frequencies. So you'd want to cut almost everything, almost every channel to about 100 hertz, apart from stuff like kick drums and bass guitars that contain more sub-frequencies in them. But everything else, I'd generally say put a low cut in. So after we've done that, we can start looking at equalization. I'm going to start here with the high frequencies and just show you some different things that you can do. So if I have the high frequencies selected, I can either have a shelf, which turns all of the high frequencies above the frequency we've chosen up or down, like this. I can hit mode, and I can just have a shelf, so I can take all of the high frequencies out. Hit mode again, and I've got a bell curve, so I can just boost some specific frequencies, not all of them. And I can control the width of that using this dial. That's the same for high mid. You've just got a bell curve. Low mid, also just a bell curve. And the low end, again, you can have a low shelf or a shelf like this that's movable. Okay, so that's what EQ you can do. I'm just going to get rid of those EQs. I'd suggest what you do is you have your 100 hertz cut, and you maybe roll that further on until you think that the signal sounds too thin, and then just roll it back a bit until it sounds good again. So you'll notice for like a male vocal, you'd like want something like 100 hertz. A female vocal, you might go as far as 250. If they've got a thinner voice, you can take more of the low end out, and that'll make it sound clearer. There's also going to be some low mid stuff in most mics, somewhere between sort of 100 and 500 hertz that you want to get rid of. And the way you'd do this is to listen to the signal, to turn the gain up, and to move this frequency dial until you're amplifying the signal that you don't like. And then once you hear it, you take it out using the gain knob like this. The other thing you might want to do with EQ is make something a bit brighter if it sounds a bit dull. On some keys, for example, or a vocal, and you do that by turning up the high shelf on the signal.